Well, hello, welcome back, sports card hobby friends. It is another day. It is another sports card video. How the heck are we doing?
We take the card and put it in the sleeve.
Today's video is titled, Be Careful Listening to Longtime Sports Card Hobbyists. As usual, I will explain myself. There will be those folks that are writhing on the ground, that are flopping around and getting very upset. Just based on the title, I can understand that. It's not clickbaity, really. I'll talk through exactly what I mean here. But before I get started, there was a couple things I saw. This was just randomly. A few random notes here. Let's start this video with a few random notes. Stranger Things Series 4 cards dropping in a couple of weeks. We saw the preview on Cardboard Connection. It's circled around between my Stranger Things cards friends. And a lot of sticker autographs, and what I'm seeing, there's a kind of a cool relic card, a Lucas in there that I thought, that's interesting. But I'm excited to see that set come out. It's hobby boxes. I don't know the cost. I don't know what I'm going to do if I'm going to buy a hobby box and open it just for fun. I don't really do that, especially for expensive hobby boxes. I like buying more like 91 Pro Set football for $20 for 30 packs and opening that. But let's see what happens there. Also, Paul Lesko had tweeted out, I thought this was really interesting, that Topps is looking to trademark, was it Taco Fractor? And then now there's like a Frozen Fractor or Freezing Fractor or something. And then Upper Deck is doing their own thing. This is like the battle of the refractors or whatever the hell. They're trademarking Beehive. Beehive Fractors or Beehive cards. Are they going to put like actual bees? Is there going to be pollen in these cards? Anyway, we've got a whole set of questions around these Paul Lesko tweets, so interesting stuff. So we'll have to see where that goes. Big thanks to today's video sponsor, COMC.com, your home for buying, selling, and flipping all the hottest trading cards. Their consignment marketplace now home to over 32 million cards now. From baseball's biggest stars like Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, and Mookie Betts to Marvel favorites like Spider-Man, Thor, and Captain America, COMC has something for every type of collector. Make sure to visit COMC.com today to build out your collection. Also, they've got a massive booth that they'll have at the National. So if you happen to be going to the National, hit up COMC.com and meet those guys. All right, why would we be careful? Who would say this? Be careful when listening to longtime sports card hobbyists. The reason why I thought this could be an interesting topic is there is an assumption that if somebody has been around and doing something for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, that they might know better than someone that's been doing it for 5 years or 6 years or 7 years or whatever it is. But the truth is really somewhere in the middle where new people coming in, they bring a new angle, they bring a new thought process to something. And they can put kind of a new spin on maybe old ideas. And sometimes a lot of these old ideas just ring true. There's certain, I think, kind of hobby things that just ring true no matter what. But especially when we're talking about market pricing, there is nothing that drives me more insane than when I hear longtime hobbyists talk about the sports card pricing fluctuation over the last few years and talking about it as if these are normal ebbs and flows in the hobby from a pricing standpoint, when it was far away not normal. It was a Mount Everest climb and fall for a lot of sports cards and collectibles. So when you say something like, these are kind of the normal ebbs and flows, we've been here before. No, we haven't been here before. That was the first time that we saw that sort of appreciation short term with any cards, not talking about just modern cards, ultra modern. We're talking about vintage. We're talking about everything. It's the first time in history that it's hit those sorts of highs. And you can look at similar alternative types of investments. Cryptocurrency is a great example. The graphs look very similar. If you look at the time frame for cards and you look at cryptocurrency, and it does kind of the same movements, and you see it in collectibles as a whole, very, very common. Dr. Jim Beckett, who many would say is kind of the hobby czar. He's the guy that is really the original hobby celebrity, if you will. One thing that he said when this is all going on, and I always pay close attention to what he's talking about, is he said, we are in uncharted waters right now. We're in uncharted territory. This was going back a year ago, 18 months ago, when prices were really spiking. And I thought that was really important for him to say, because he could have very well said what everybody else that's been in the hobby, or not everybody, but a lot of people have been around, is, this is a normal, these are normal ebbs and flows. And it just wasn't. It just wasn't. Now, where I think longtime hobbyists can be really valuable is, set collecting, if you're looking for particular sets, especially vintage people, man, there are some incredible vintage collectors. Orlando, Collector's Dream, he just had a really good interview. I'm about halfway through it on Junk Wax Heroes channel. Mike did an interview. He's doing kind of a collector series, which I thought he was cool. Mike, let me know if you want to get the Stranger Things collector series, the best Stranger Things collection. I'm up there. I'm probably not number one. I'm definitely not number one, but I'm climbing the ranks. I'm kidding, but sort of kidding if you want to throw a little wrench in that collector series that you've got going there. But Orlando is one of those guys. He's been collecting since the 60s, 50 years or so. And so he can give all sorts of different insights on different collecting strategies, different sets. Think about all the different hobby things he's gone through, trends, or, different players he's watched over time, player movement, this and that and whatever. So Orlando obviously is a great resource. I actually want to have him on my channel. He's reached out to me directly, and I want to also connect with him. And so that will probably happen in the near future. But this is something, again, it's kind of like, and it's the same that goes with YouTubers. If you've been listening to me for a while, you know that I do not want this to be the one stop for people for sports card information. Not at all. This should be kind of, to me, one place out of a bunch of other places. I like listening to some of the other podcasters and some of the other YouTube channels. Now the podcasters are doing YouTube. They're putting their stuff on YouTube, so I'll watch it. But there's good people that are throwing out different information, and just take it all in. I really like listening to what different people have to say about different topics, because you learn something. I've been talking the last few videos, we've been going over autographs and unauthenticated autographs. And what's great about that is you throw a topic out there and you get a lot of feedback. There's a lot of autograph collectors that have come back to me. I've probably talked to a dozen different people that have reached out to me directly and said, hey, here's how I do it. Here's how I'm careful about it. So it gives me another angle. It gives me another viewpoint as to how those folks are collecting that particular thing. And that's what's nice about my channel now is I can throw a topic out there and I will get feedback, and some of it will be, useless, but there will be some good feedback to where I can think, okay, cool. Now I've got another viewpoint on that. So longtime hobbyists can offer that, but also people that just got in a year ago, they might have something profound to say too. They might have a new spin on the hobby where you're like, I didn't ever really think about that. And so I think the main point is, don't put any one person or a group of people on a pedestal ever. We are all human beings that, make mistakes and do dumb things, or, their hair isn't quite right on any given day. It just is the way that it is. So make sure to listen to a variety of people. Mike's Retro Trading Cards is a great trio of card collectors out there. And lastly, I'll just say this is really important when you're deciding exactly what you are collecting, buying into. It's a totally different animal if you're trying to buy and flip cards, so you might not have a connection to that particular thing. But if you are just literally, that collect what you love that everybody likes to say, a lot of times when you get back in, and I've heard Al, Iconic Baseball channel, he has said too, a lot of times, and I agree with him, I've said the same thing, is when you first get back in to the hobby or getting into the hobby, you might not exactly know what you want to land on, whether it be a player or a set, because you don't know what you don't know. You've got to get out there and kind of learn a little bit. You've got to learn, okay, this player has these cards, these are rare, these are not rare. Do I want to collect in volume? Do I want to have more rare pieces? What are my price points? What's my budget? There's a million different questions, and you won't make those decisions day one. You'll make those decisions over time, and everyone's got their own journey. Again, another reason why it's good to hear many different people's journey. My journey, Orlando's journey, John Mangini's journey, whoever's journey it is, you can take that in and say like, okay, interesting. That's how they decided to do it. All right, friends, that's all I've got today. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.